Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Daily Brew, your morning pick-me-up. I'm Art Preuss. I'm the pastor for the Naples SDA Adventist Church, and I just want to welcome to another edition. This morning I want to talk to you about something that's very familiar to most of us, if not all of us, and that is sibling rivalries. Have you ever been accused of being dad's or mom's favorite? You know that in the Bible, that kind of accusation is kind of implied and implicit when we look at these particular two brothers. Jacob was Rebekah's favorite, and Esau was Isaac's favorite. Esau was a hunter. He was a gamer. He liked to do what someone would say a manly things, while Jacob was more on the quiet side. He was a thinker. But it wasn't until Isaac is about to want to give his blessing to his eldest that he calls Esau and tells him to go and hunt his favorite animal to make a meal out of him. His mother, Rebekah, overhears the conversation, calls her favorite son, Jacob, tells him to go and prepare the same meal but with a different animal, and then serve it to his father. So Jacob tricks Isaac to give him the birthright that, even though he had purchased it from his brother, did not rightfully belong to him. Long story short, when Esau finds out, he vows to kill Jacob. I mean, what a messed up family that a brother would want to kill his brother because of a blessing. But you know what happens? Jacob flees. He leaves, and just before he leaves, he receives a second blessing from his father. Two different blessings, but all very nice, beautiful blessings that would demonstrate prosperity in both aspects of both life and professional. But as he leaves his entire household behind. And he comes to this place, and it's dark and at night, and he falls asleep, takes a rock, puts it and uses it as a pillow, and he falls asleep with his head on this rock. And in this, as he's asleep, he sees a staircase that goes to heaven with God at the very top. And he wakes up later, and he says, God has been in this place. And so he anoints the rock and calls it Bethel, which means the house of God. You know, when we think about this story, there's a very particular thing that you and I can possibly relate with them. They both grew up under the same roof with very loving parents, or parents that may have had their favorites, and they had their sibling rivalries. Nevertheless, it's a dysfunctional home. And despite being somebody who came from that kind of an environment, when Jacob had that dream, God promised the same promise he made to his grandfather, Abraham, to Jacob. The same promise, the same blessings, the same covenant that God established with Abraham, he passed it on to Jacob. If Jacob, coming from such a dysfunctional family, was able to receive the blessings from God, that is great news for me, and that is great news for you. As you go throughout this day, remember that God has a blessing for you also, despite where you come from, and despite how you were raised, and despite how you were taught. As long as you surrender yourself to God, He will bless you. May God bless you this day. Have a great day.